Good morning, everybody. My name is Freddy. I'll be 19 years old in October in my spiritual Christian faith. So let me take you back to my future. Are we ready? Okay. In 1947, I was born in a Jewish Orthodox family. Very strict. My dad was very controlling, and he was like the godfather of the family. We did exactly what he asked us to do, and we did. We lived in Brooklyn, and that's why I sound this way. Perfect. And we lived in an apartment building. Dad decided it was time to get out and find a nice, lovely little home in the suburban of Jamaica, Queens. I started school there, and in the following year, in springtime, when I was able to get out and play with the neighborhood children, I was 7 years old then, one of the neighbors came by when I was playing with one of the kids, and said to me, "Go home." Why? Your family, the Jews, they killed Christ. Now, as a 7-year-old child, I didn't even understand what the word Jesus meant because I came from a very Orthodox Jewish family. Nor did I want to say anything to my dad because that's going to stir up a whole bunch of stuff. We were shunned from that neighborhood. They really didn't want us to be there. And later on, my parents bought a home that was close to the synagogue, and it was in Bayside, Queens. I did the formality. What I was supposed to do as a son is to have my bar mitzvah. And that's reading the Bible and saying to God that you are 13 years old, you're a man now. But did I feel it? No, I didn't feel it in my heart. It was basically what I was trained to do, and I did it well. Later on, when I went to high school and I went to college, I got a job after college as a dental lab technician. And in 1970, I got laid off during the summertime. And it was a perfect time to be laid off because to look for a job, you can spend many months to do it. But my dad suggested to me this is a perfect time of your life to be laid off because now you can travel and make believe you're looking for a job, but enjoy your summertime. A whole bunch of friends of mine from New York City were in the theatrical business. And they said, "Come on, Freddie, we're going to go to Washington, D.C. Come for the weekend." So we all flew together, and that's where we went. We went into a gay bar, and you know, when you are a visitor from another state, you have more courage because you know that if anything happens, if someone says no to you, go on back to Bayside, Queens. But I did find someone in my life. That day, that evening, I did find my first partner. His name was Don. Our life began together when I flew back to my parents' home, told them that I was leaving to go live with someone that was just as lonely as I was. Years had passed with Don and I. He was 20 years older than I was. He had a drinking problem, smoking problem. But years had gone by. When I was getting close to the age of 50 years old, his doctor had told him that he had a few more years to live because of his emphysema. So Don decided let's go to an MCC church. I want a gay pastor to give my last rites. That's what he said. Now, being Jewish, and not as a practicing Jewish person, sometimes your friends replace God because that's all you have is your friends. But we drove to the MCC church, I walked in just because I was the driver, and he wanted to get into the church and become a member of it. Let me tell you, everybody treated both of us with respect and love and gave us such a warm welcome feeling to be there. Months went by, and we were going there every single Sunday, and we were volunteering to do other things in the church. And I loved the church so much because it was my salvation. And I decided that I want to become a member of MCC. Excuse me. In order to do so, I had to be baptized. I said, I beg. I knew I wanted it that much. And I decided I will do what it was necessary to have Jesus into my heart. I couldn't say it as strongly as I feel it now, but I wanted something to change. So I was baptized in October, the year of my birthday, which was 50, when I was 50 years old. Before I was baptized on a Sunday, on Saturday evening when I was asleep, you know, when you're a kid and you have this little flashlight, and sometimes you play with it and so forth. Well, while I was asleep, all of a sudden the light went into my eyes like this. I opened up my eyes, and there before me was a silhouette of Jesus Christ, reaching down as I was reaching up to the Lord. And Jesus saying to me, Freddy, I have been with you all your life. I've seen you walk through and do many lovely things for other people. But now you're making a commitment to me. Have no fear. You'll be just fine. Go on in your life, and I will give you what you can share with people at your own pace. The next day when we went to church, I shared that experience with my pastor. And he said to me, there are a lot of people that he heard stories like that where God has come to them in many different ways. And he knew I was special, but I didn't know that I was special or not. I didn't want to be special. All I wanted to be accepted and to go on with my life. Basically, MCC was my savior. The people in the congregation was my family. And I grew with that. I've gone to Bible studies and learned what was in the Bible and related my information verbally, what it meant to me. And every time that Leah talks about the Bible, it brings back memories of the past and the future. A few years later, Don was in the hospital. The pastor came to give him his last rites. I was there. Dave was, Don, I have Dave and I have Don. Don was knowing that he'll be seeing the Lord soon. And he told me that, I'm sorry I ruined your life because of my alcoholism and my smoking. And I said, it's all right. I loved you unconditionally. The next day I got a phone call from the hospital saying that he couldn't breathe. We're putting him on the machine to breathe. I said, go right ahead. I went into the hospital and they told me that he had already passed away. I thank the Lord that he was taken with dignity. I never blamed anything about Jesus taking him away. I knew that my life had to begin. The 2 years have passed when I realized that Freddy was back. The MCC Church helped me. The fellowship helped me. People at work understood where I was going. So I encourage you, everybody here that is witnessing this story, when you come to MCC, what does it mean to you? If you come and just hear the prayers, find the friends, or just have your own sanctuary to know that God is always with you, has a plan for you. One of the things that MCC stands for in my heart is my caring church. And I thank you, Lord, for bringing me to my new destiny. October 8th, I'll be 69 years old when I was baptized when I was 50. So there you go. A new life begins every single day. And I thank you very much for listening to my story.